Okay, so today we're starting a little bit earlier, and a few of my friends are on the other server that my friend hosts, and I promised that I would build them an iron farm if they drop two villagers off at my house. So we're gonna try and follow some real short guides and real early iron farm designs, and see if we can put something together quickly without having to make a whole over-engineered solution. So let's get started with that. Okay, I'm just checking some things. Alrighty, appears that everything is up and running. Okay, chat's working. Yep. Alrighty. Yes, let's see what's going on here. Two villagers in boats near the giant Kakamai Island. There they are. They're also leaded up apparently. It's very interesting. So June 27th. Oh, it is bedtime. Sleeping through the night, so I think that means it's gonna work. Okay. These boys have an audio channel somewhere. Hello, gentlemen. Hello, Calvin. What's your name on here now? You're not Clobbered Cat anymore? Soupies. Soupies. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Geezer. Those things are savage animals. I'm gonna make a breeding farm at my place first. Villager. So that's why I need two to start with. Then I can just build as many as I need. Okay. So how are you boys doing? I haven't talked to you guys in a little while. Good stuff, good stuff. My inventory is a mess. I don't have anything going on this server yet, so I have to do a few basic things first. It is true that they can't kick you out for having a dog. Like, yeah, no, exactly. But I did that like back in Toronto. I like moved into a place that had like no dogs in like the contract, and I was like, well, that's illegal. Like, fuck that shit. So I eventually got a dog, and my landlord like came over when I was going to move out, and they started giving me a bunch of shit for having a dog, and I was like, no, that's fine. He's like, no, I'm gonna take you to the board, and I was like, you can do that, but we can read landlord and tenant section, like, and like the exact information. I forget the paragraph. Yeah. Hey, stream. Sorry, I had like a. I'm on a call with a few friends that are muted on your end, so I won't be talking to the chat too much. They need a couple of conditions. You need an abundance of beds. So, like, the number of villagers that can be bred is equal to the number of beds available for them to sleep in. So, if you have two villagers, 5 beds, you'll potentially be able to breed 3 new villagers. Uh, you also want to have them like contained. You should just like pretty much put them in a house that they can't escape from, and then put a bunch of beds in there. Then throw a bunch of carrots and/or bread inside, and you're all set to go. That's essentially it. They really appreciate it when you watch. It's really easy to lock them in a house if you use a trap door on the top of like a 2x1, like a doorway, because they can't path under a trap door. So you can easily just walk in and out and they can't escape, but the issue with that is that the babies can escape. So essentially you put like a block there. Yeah, they're only 1 block tall. But a trapdoor makes like the gap like smaller than a block. So like if you just put a block in the bottom of the door when you have them breeding, then you can take that out when they're all grown up. You can easily just go back in, take out who you want on a minecart, and then continue on. Does it grow dicks? In Japanese, to say that would be chinko ki in Japanese. If you wanted to say dick tree in Japanese, it'd be chinko ki. Not at all. Yeah, well, it's an important word to know. Nagai chinko tree. Nagai chinko ki is long dick tree. No, like that is like essentially how you'd say it, or like there's a couple of ways to say dick. There's chin chin, which is also dick. Because there's like words that sound like that I would be saying, and like my wife would stare at me. It's like, what did you just say? Did you just say chin chin? I was like, no. She's like, well, that means dick. I was like, does it now? Thank you for that information, because now I'm going to use that a lot. Japanese. So like, well, Japanese is a little bit different than that because like Japanese essentially there are the Japanese writing system uses like a Chinese kanji essentially, right? And the reason for that is that many words mean the same thing. Like kami, for example, you probably know means God, but it also means hair and it also means paper. and it means a bunch of other shit too. Or like hahashi is like bridge, but it's also chopsticks. So so it's depending on the context of how you'd be saying it, right? Like if I was at a restaurant and I asked you for hashi, then it's going to obviously mean chopsticks in this context. I'm not going to ask you for a bridge. But if I were writing something, then the context is less like obvious. So you use different kanji. There'd be like a kanji for bridge, and it would be read as hashi. Uh, to a degree, it's completely phonetic. So like the word Pacific Ocean in English, every C in that shit's pronounced differently. But in Japanese, like the character ka is always ka. There's not like it's not going to be read or pronounced any different way. But there's like 46 like base characters, and then there's modifiers on like a few of them that change their sound, and there's uh, combined characters. So there's like about like 110 like unique sounds that you can write in like a Japanese like a hiragana. People are at my house. Hello. I'm just trying to farm up some stuff and get some food together and build a little farm over here, but I don't have any seeds. Oh yeah. No, you always end up with like way too many seeds. That's alright. I'm sure that stuff will grow pretty quickly. I probably have some bones. Do I have any bones? I don't have any bones. To grow the crops faster. But yeah, there's not very much going on at this base right now. I'm just trying to get basic stuff together. I don't even have like iron tools or armor. I have some gold pants that have some gold pants. I got a gold sword that's sharpness 4. Oh no no no! I'm gonna be building an iron farm, so like soon there'll just be iron flowing into this place. I got a few. I gotta go on like a mining trip and just like sort of dig down and collect some resources. I have an iron pick. I got a little bit of food. I got enough stuff to get moving. It's always like getting organized at the beginning of a world. It's all about priorities, right? There's some steak on the ground. No, it's like $40 or like $50, I think. Hmm. I've not used Game Pass before, but I bought this back in like 2010 for like $7. I've been able to like migrate my account all the way through to now. Yeah. Well, no, this was like pre-alpha. This was like before the game was like. This was like I was probably one of the first like 100,000 like people to buy the game way back in the day. I believe Acacia. Which one? Get out of the Denny's. You should use F3 plus B to be able to see the boat's box better, so you don't accidentally strike the villager itself with the axe. Yeah, because it's really easy to accidentally hit the villager and then they get mad at you or die. No, it doesn't. You cannot lead one of them. One trick you can do is if you put two beds in the house and they're within like line of sight or they're close to those beds, then as night approaches, they'll want to go to bed. So if you break the boat, they'll walk right into their beds. No, you need like five. You need You can also attract them with some sort of like workstation, like a composter or a fletching table. If they see that, then they'll want to walk to. Whoa, creeper! Hello, you're a friend. All right, creeper on 200 millisecond ping. Yeah, that blew up. They can open doors. F3B. Let me know if it's getting to night, because I'm like in my house area, but I'm underground. So my dudes might not be safe overnight. Or carrots. That's an Enderman. It's the miracle of life. If they're sleeping, they won't escape. If they're in bed sleeping, they will not escape. There'll be a lot of hearts, and if they fail, there'll be like sparks essentially. Yeah? No. No, I'm just underground finding some stuff. Yeah, after they bang, they need more bread. They throw bread to each other because they'll be like, "Oh, are you hungry? I have too much bread." Did you see sparks? Yeah, so sparks means that one of the conditions is not met. They either don't have enough beds or yeah, it's probably they don't have enough beds. The sparks happen at the end. So sparks means that they have failed to breed. Doesn't necessarily need to be taller. I usually like, have them in like maybe like a 4 by 7 like a space. Usually I do it 3 high. Now, did they go to sleep in their beds like when the sun was going down? One didn't, so that's a problem. That means that he's still bound to some bed somewhere. He'll eventually unbind from it, and then like he'll be able to breed. Maybe that, or maybe the guy just unbound from the bed that he was still stuck to. Yo, he loves jumping on the bed. No. You can make you can actually make like a farm where you have like a composter. One of the villagers will assign themselves a farmer, and if you put them in a wheat field, they'll harvest the plants and plant the seeds automatically, and then they'll make the bread. And then if you like have like the breeding area across like a block gap, then he'll throw the bread over the block gap to the other guys. I had a gold shovel with efficiency 5. I used it, it only lasted for 3 seconds. Yeah. Yeah, but it is actually the fastest tool set. Yaoi is gay porn in Japanese. It's like boy on boy anime. You get the yaoi paddle out. I don't know. I see a lot of yaoi over here, but definitely is not a religious concept. Hey, Chad, I can see you. Yeah. Sorry, I'm on a call with a few friends who are muted on the stream end, so I'm just chatting with them and kind of ignoring chat. So my apologies. Teletoon was pretty wild for that show. I even forget what the fuck it was called. It's all like the UK kids. That's where that joke is from. How tall was Hitler and where did he live? Well, he was this tall and he lived over there. Nah. Though they did a great joke about somebody having a poop during a very important business meeting. They're just all like chatting, and then one guy just sort of gets uncomfortable in his chair and he goes like, kind of reaches back into his pants and pulls out a big turd, and he's like, "Oh, gross!" and just throws it into like the trash can in the room. Like, excuse me, did you just shit your pants? And then throw the poop into the garbage during a meeting? A business meeting? It's like, well, I felt something was kind of odd back there, so I reached back to check out what it was, and like, I didn't want to distract anybody from the meeting, so I decided to throw it in the garbage. Essentially, yes, but what you want to do is you want to start off with a Fletcher with stick trade, because if you want to lock somebody in, you have to trade with them. If you don't have emeralds to do it, then you're kind of fucked. Not many. You're gonna need more than that. So if you're doing librarians, you're gonna want to have a. You're gonna want to roll them a few times and see if you can get a good enchanted book, and you want to get it for cheap. So like anything under 20 emeralds, and you need to trade them a book plus that number of emeralds to be able to lock them into that trade. Well, the design that I go for this is I build a trading hall. So essentially, you want to build like a building that is long and how many blocks wide should this be? It should be like 7 blocks wide. And then you build individual, let's call them cells, where it's essentially. Well, I mean, that's the most efficient way to do it. Yeah. This is their house. They live there, they poop there, they work there. That's possible. I have 6. Yes. You compost wood? No. I'm gonna make my breeding space in the balls of this cock. The villagers are stored in the balls. I'm gonna put firework dispensers on the tip of it. I don't think that there's a way to detect like the number of entities in a room, but there might be a way to actually use a calibrated Skulk sensor to detect the sound of a baby villager. So like when one appears, it could detect that, then a redstone line could shoot a rocket at the tip of the cock. I mean, it would be just sort of accurate, don't you think? Okay, well, to build a pretty ball, I need better trees. Oh yeah. Hmm. It's all about the angle of the dangle, isn't it? For now. Hey, dude, thanks for following the channel. I'm on a Discord call with a few friends who are muted that you can't hear. I'm doing good, but I'm not really talking to chat for this stream in particular, so thanks for the follow. The height? Max height? It's like a 328 blocks or something like that. 256, the standard engineering numbers. Or 255 technically, because it starts with 0. Calvin, where are the acacia trees? Yes. You don't need any kind of special dirt. Yep. But some trees require growing in like a 4x4 pattern. Yep, they need a 4x4. I mean a 2x2. No, I saw somebody planting dark oak wrong at the original base, and like essentially it just needs to be 2x2 on the same like height. Yeah. You just have to wonder now who's doing it with the child. It's funny when you breed villagers, you'll eventually get one who has a green shirt, and he is incapable of getting any kind of a job ever. Satchel or a bundle? Very useful thing to have. So it's really annoying to get things out of them. Yes. You can compost it. I built a small automatic composter at my house. You do that, you can just put stuff in a chest and it'll compost its way through and then put the outputted bone meal in the bottom. I don't know, but I'm going to assume so if you think about, like, what would you possibly do with it, right? Like, you can compost, like, flowers and shit, so, like, you know, the stuff on the ground, like the leaves, should probably be fine. There's an azalea tree over here, which means that there's a super big cave. Yeah? Well, I only went like a few blocks like the other direction and found a bunch of dark oak, so I was just starting with that. I didn't have any dark oak. Yes, they're good trees. For a composter, yes. Yeah. Now, if you put a hopper on top of a composter, then put a chest on top of that, it'll just auto feed the composter over and over again. And you put a hopper under the composter pointing into a chest, and it's a whole thing where you just put stuff in the top, and it'll just output bone meal to the bottom chest. There's an example of that on my island. It needs a hopper underneath the composter that runs into the chest. That looks like a cache. Seems like I might not make it home in good time to sleep, so if somebody wants to jump into bed. Thank you. It's useful for all the extra seeds you get when harvesting wheat. You have a cow farm back at the other base too. Mm. Well, if you move them out of the house and then you break all the beds and replace them, then you can continue breeding from that location as long as you move the other guys away and they break their beds and then put them back down. Also works. It just depends on like yeah, they can. Well, they're very concentrated on their work. Busy hands are happy hands. An interesting fact is when you use the wrong tool, it actually causes double durability usage. I need to do some terraforming, and for that I need more dirt. Alright, dude. See you later. You kind of have to chase him down. Yep, that makes sense. Correct. No, he's cool with it. He's more of an enforcer. Like, as long as no one's hurting the workers or damaging their productivity, then, like, you know, he's cool with it. He's an enforcer. Shit. So you guys notice how the golem spawned, right? So that's the whole concept of an iron farm, actually, is that you want to create a village where it will spawn iron golems and make it so that they can only spawn in one spot where they get flown into or streamed by water into lava and then killed, and then you just collect all the iron out of them. There's mud. Yep. This one I don't have knowledge on. Mud is a bottle of water used on a block of dirt. Yeah. Oh. No, the reason for doing this is that like mud is not a full block. So like if you put hoppers under mud, it'll pull the entities through it. Yeah, I needed some food. Yes, I need a food source. Oh yeah, but like, I don't want to have to go so far. Yeah, you just get one into a boat and then bring it over with you, and then get the other one into the boat and bring it over. That's true. But no, I got some cows over here now. Uh-oh. There was a Java socket exception. So that boy is down right now. So I don't know if he's using Fabric to host this, or like if he has an auto restart system, but it might be the case. That was a Java socket.io connection exception, so that was probably the client side error, but essentially his internet is either down or the server on the server side has just crashed and the Java process has exited. Uh, there he goes. Does that happen frequently? Okay. 1:41 p.m. Should probably get doing some other things. So 19, huh? All right, well that's good. That's good stuff. Hmm. I gotta make a coffee, I think, boys. So I'll be gone for a few minutes. Got to go through the whole process with the espresso machine. Cause I'm a fancy bitch. We're gaming, mister. We're gaming. Hey. We're back. Oh. You guys want to hear some weird Japanese stuff? So, in Japan, Japanese people are kind of alcoholics, which is kind of hilarious. But there's a concept at izakayas and restaurants in Japan called nomi hodai. So this is called all you can drink. And essentially, you pay a flat fee, usually like 1,500 yen, and you can just order as much alcohol as you want for 2 hours. So 1,500 yen is like $15 Canadian. You order like 5, 6 beers for $15. It's extremely common. Why don't my fucking trees grow? Here's something else that's weird about Japan. They use a 24-hour clock here, but they really do some weird shit with it. So like my elevator, for example, it'll like be a 24-hour clock, but it'll also say AM and PM. So like 12:30 in the afternoon is 0:30 PM. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, it makes no sense. Like clocks here are like just fucked up sometimes. Yeah. There'll be a place where you can do your laundry. It's open from like 0500 to 2600. And I'm like, 26? There's no 26. It's like, oh, that just means 2 a.m. It's like easier. I'm like, no, it's not. Putting 26 on like a 24-hour clock is bananas. But no, it's just easier. Something else that's bananas is that like Japanese people just straight up watch TV while they drive their cars. Like on like the actual like car like a screen itself. You can very easily get like a mod for your car where like they just install like a little card and then all of a sudden you can just like watch cable TV. They're just watching TV while they're driving. Straight up. That shit blew my mind. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Is that cable TV in your car? I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, you guys are just watching TV while you're driving? Yeah. I'm like, really? Okay. Well, there's only 12 channels in Japan. And the most bananas thing, yeah. On the standard, like a TV broadcast, it's only 12 channels. You can buy like cable and other stuff like that and get like a whole bunch of other like channels. But standard, there's only 12 channels. So the most insane thing about this is that the TV remotes, instead of having like, 1 through like a 9 and then 0 at the bottom, they just have like the numbers till 12. Like they don't have a 0 on the remote. Yeah. So like what happens if they want to add a 13th channel? Do they have to like send a new remote to every person? It's like super strange. Like I was staring at the remote, I was like, wait a minute, this goes 1 through 12. What the fuck is this? And like I can't think of any reason why you'd ever want to do that. Aside from only having 12 channels. Okay, so some acacia trees are actually growing now. They're just taking forever. I need more dirt, but to get more dirt, I need a more efficient way of getting dirt, so I need more diamonds. So it's off to the mines, I think. Found a super nice big natural cave near my place. Ow. Y'all be jealous of my big naturals. Whoa! Hi there, boys. I just walked into a room and there's like 3 creepers just hanging out in there. Oh boy, now we got skeletons. No, thank you. Just trying to light up all like the close areas in this big cave. I'm getting a few mob spawns that I don't appreciate. There's a lot going on in here. Right now the main splintering caves often are mostly illuminated, so I can probably go down from here and dig out a little strip. Right now, naturally, it's gone down to -27. Really do just need 1 diamond to make a shovel. other weird shit about Japan. Let's see. I got a washing machine the other day. That's like the most advanced washing machine I've ever seen. You like load the thing up with detergent and it like weighs the clothing and then it like knows exactly how much detergent to inject and fabric softener and everything else, and it'll wash and dry in omikaze mode. So very, very cool. But it like automatically detects everything and like detects how dry clothes are, so it like just sort of does everything on its own. But like, you know, as advanced as that is, in order to set up delivery of this machine, we had to send a fax to the store that like actually was going to fulfill the order. So like I have this automatic like, you know, sci-fi machine, but to get it delivered I had to send an actual fax. That's just as Japanese as it gets. Yeah. Alrighty, perfect. I like didn't bring enough torches to actually like strip mine effectively. I was down to 2 torches. I'm like, I better find some diamonds soon, and here we are. That's good. It's another 5 diamonds. Okay. I went to get a haircut the other day, and you have to fill out a whole thing of paperwork where like they want like your address and like a whole bunch of information about you just to give you a haircut. Every time you go anywhere in Japan, it's like, ah, yes, please write down your address here. It's like, okay. Yeah, you need your Honkel stamp. It's how Japanese people do signatures. Honko. If you want to buy a car here, you have to prove to them that you have a parking space within like 200 meters of your apartment. So you're not allowed to just buy a car. You have to like prove like, yes, I do have a parking space. Oh, that's absolutely correct. If you want to be homeless in Japan, that's just, oh my god. I have found something that I don't need, but it is beautiful. I found an iron vein. That's just like, that's like unlimited iron, but I'm building an iron farm. So like, that's the one thing I don't need. Son of a bitch. Iron vein. In Japan, there's a place called Soapland, where essentially it's called the blowjob bar. You go there to get chlamydia. It's because Japanese people are lonely. When you go walk down the streets of Kabukicho, there's like a line of like girls in maid outfits and schoolgirl outfits, and like they're all holding signs saying like how much per hour. And that's not prostitution. That's actually just girls' bar. So essentially, you're paying to go buy them drinks, and they will talk to you and pretend to be interested in you. You're paying just like for the privilege of talking to a girl. There's also Host Club, which is the boy version of this. And Host Club is fucking wild. They'll have these giant billboards outside that rank the men from 1 to 10 based on how much like revenue they bring into the club itself. So they'll have like a big changing sign outside. It's like, here's man number 1. He likes these things, and like it'll just like have like description of him. It's like, here's man number 2. It's like, dude, I feel bad for man number 2 or like man number 10. Like my guy's just getting put on blast every day. That is like at the place where he works. Oh yeah. Well, in Japan, gambling's illegal. Except for pachinko, which isn't gambling. Pachinko is a place where... No, it's very interesting. So, like, the way that it works is that, like, you buy steel ball bearings, and then you load them into a machine, and, like, the machine's full of, like, naked anime girls. And then, like, you know... Oh, yeah. But, like, here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about it. So, like, you know, you're not, like, actually gambling. So, like, what you do is you go to, like, a store that's beside the pachinko parlor, and you buy with money a little piece of gold. And then you go to the pachinko place, and you trade the gold for the steel balls. And then at the end, when you're done, if you have more steel balls than you started with, you go back and you sell your steel balls for a piece of gold. And then you take the gold back to the other store and sell the gold back for money. So it's not gambling because it was 2 different stores. You want the observer like above the piston, facing like the 3rd block high where the sugarcane will grow. They'll send a redstone signal out the back, and you want a solid block, essentially behind the observer, behind the piston, and then you put redstone dust on that. When the observer detects that something grew, it'll fire a signal into the redstone dust. Yeah, because then it breaks like the one like above it as well. You're right, Calvin. I'll see you later, my dude. I once again need more dirt, so I'm gonna go harvest some from an island that's... I don't care about terraforming poorly. What the? The shoulders? Like, what happened to your shoulders? Oh yeah. That'll do it. Yeah, sunburns are no fun. I've been religiously applying sunscreen in Japan because the sun here is like way more intense than back home. Yep. Yes. Oh no, there's some super easy ones. A water elevator would be like the easiest way to do it. You just need soul sand and it creates a column of air that sends you all the way up super fast. From the nether. There's a biome called like the Soul Sand, like Delta or something like that. It's the one with all the skeletons and the ghasts. Like the dried one. Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, they're pretty easy to come by. You can trade gold to piglins for them. Yep. Yep. For dry ghast. Yeah, hold a bar of gold in your hand, and then you throw it at them, and they give you stuff. Hmm? Oh, really? Those places can be a little bit hostile. If you're wearing gold armor, they don't bother you, but the brutes with the axes will always bother you. If you're... Yeah, the brutes, though, with the axe, those guys will do some damage. No, they won't be hostile to you if you're wearing gold armor. Or at least one piece of gold armor. Yep, you just have ingots of gold, and you throw it on the ground, they'll pick it up, and then they'll throw something back at you. They don't... If you have soul sand, you can make a bubble elevator out of that. It's a pretty straightforward concept. All the water in the elevator itself needs to be source blocks. But essentially, if you just like make like a tube, like going down, and then drop a column of water down it, then you can use kelp from the bottom all the way to the top. And if you place kelp, it'll turn any flowing water block that it's in into a source block. So you essentially just like put soul sand at the bottom, put flowing water at the top, and then kelp all the way up. And then once you break all the kelp, it'll start sending you all the way up the tube. Gotcha. I was just trying to attract my cows and realized I was holding a piece of steak. I don't think they're too interested in that. Tommy? Come on, cows, over to your fence pen. Let's go. This is your new home. Forever. Oh, I bet a cashew trees are taking forever to grow. Oop. The hard part of the dick. Ah. Yeah, I should probably be productive today. And maybe start looking for a job. I resigned and moved to Japan. The timeline for transferring from like the Bloomberg office to the Tokyo office was probably like between like 1.5 and like 5 years. I was like, all right, I'm not waiting around for that. So it's going to be pretty easy to find a new job in software engineering over here. Yeah, and for now, I can afford to take a bit of a break and get used to moving halfway across the world, you know? Yes, indeed. Okay. Yeah, they're always dropping by the salon. Yeah. I know, I had a GPU that I was like, well, I don't know what to do with this. So I wanted to ship that to Calvin, but like I would have to pay like duty and a bunch of other crap on it if I was to do that. It's not even a tariff thing. That was just like general shipping stuff to Canada from the US. Like they're like, oh, okay, so like you're obviously doing some sort of business trying to sell this. I'm like, no, no, like, I'm just giving this to a friend. Like, no, you're not. Like, I am. I was just gonna try and move the villagers out of their boats and into like an appropriate area to entrap them, but realized I don't have any extra beds. So I need to go find some sheep. Oh yeah. It's like a bunch just like roaming around this birch forest, like in between my island and your deck. Come on, just at least one more sheep. Do you have chicken and cow, but no sheep? I already have 2 extra beds, so that will be enough to get them to leave their boats and walk into their beds, hopefully. Alright, buddy. I'm gonna log off pretty soon after I get these guys into their beds. Good night, man. Alright, they both got green particles when staring at the bed. So that means they should just go right to bed, like good little boys. And off they go, and bop. Perfect. They're now stuck in their house. Alright, that's gonna be it for me too. I gotta go do some productive stuff with my day here, but made some good progress and iron farm next time. See you later, dude. See ya. And to the stream, I'm also gonna end streaming as well. So thanks to anybody for stopping in, and have a good day. Eh?